Is everything ready for you there, too?
Sure.
Okay. 136 here on the TKO show with Kara Rowe, and we're going to talk about getting better sleep this half hour. He was my first to be on the show, the TKO show for Mental Muscle, and he is back. It is Jimmy Graham. He is a mindset success coach, and he was fascinating the first time talking to you. I've had an opportunity a few times to talk to you, and because you have so many different aspects of what you do. Mind power obviously can go through a realm of different things. That's our biggest struggle in a lot of aspects in life. Now, you're also the founder and CEO of Mind Power Presentations. I'm looking at your website as well, mindpowerprograms.com, and there's a host of different things that you do. Welcome to the show. I'm happy to have you back.
Great to be back on here, Kara.
Now, you've been really busy, it seems. I follow you on Facebook and in different social mediums. And talk to me a little bit about the things that you've been doing lately.
Well, Mind Power Presentations all started with the type of shows that I do. And I do hypnotic comedy shows. So I go out and I hypnotize people. And from that, it's really blossomed into helping people on a personal level improve their lives as well. Because it's all the same process. Once you put somebody into hypnosis, you can access their subconscious mind and create some great results, and that's what I do in my shows as well.
So, and how did you get into this?
I had always studied the power of the mind, and I started using the techniques that I learned, but then I discovered an ad in the back of a Rolling Stone magazine that said, "Double your income guaranteed through the power of hypnosis." And I sent away my $15. I got a cassette tape back, and all it said was, listen to this tape every single night. And within 2 weeks, I had doubled my income. From there, I was just hooked on everything to do with hypnosis.
That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And so lately, you were saying there's something going on in the U.S. that you're constantly in the U.S. With your work.
Right now, I'm doing a lot of touring in the U.S. and the Midwest, and it's doing what's called lock-in parties for high school students. Now, what they do, it's a great concept. The kids go to a prom or a graduation party, and then afterwards, the parents bus them to a specific venue, basically lock them in there all night so they don't go out and drink and drive and get into trouble. And what they do for the kids is they line them up with all sorts of entertainment, laser tag, bouncy house castles, all sorts of stuff, as well as a hypnotist show, which is always the biggest highlight of the night.
I just think I've seen a few of them, and I literally fell off my seat crying, laughing so hard. And I didn't even know the people on stage. It was at a bar, like this is years ago. And I just remember, because you think there's no way this stuff is real, and then when you see people and their demeanor before, and then after, maybe you say, okay, I want you to perform a Celine Dion or a Cher song or a Madonna. And all of a sudden, that like meek little girl who just walked up there and was kind of shy is all of a sudden like outlandish and out there and singing and dancing, and then wakes up and has no clue what. Then I was like, yes, this is legit. There's no way that would have happened.
Yes, and I'm glad that you said that, because everybody that ever even thinks about a hypnotist show, they remember that for the whole entire lives.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
why I love doing the hypnotist shows at the high school level, because they will carry that memory through their whole life. They'll always remember, oh yeah, I remember that one time I saw a hypnotist show.
Now, you knew it worked for you when you first got a hold of a CD or tape that you had played over and over. Now, when the first time you hypnotized somebody else, was it a friend or a family member where you're like, let me try this out? Or?
Believe it or not, it was a girl that, it was a living girlfriend. I mean, we had a solid relationship, and finally, once I decided to make the transition from being, I had a DJ company, and I decided I wanted to sell that and transition to doing something else and being able to travel. I decided I'd be a stage hypnotist. And once they sent me the induction, it's like, here, practice this. So I told her, I said, listen, sit down on the couch. I'm just going to read this to you. Just close your eyes, right? So I had my back to her, and I was just reading this sheet of paper, and I turned around, and she was out. And here I am in my living room in the middle of the afternoon, and she's out, and I'm just giggling like a little schoolgirl. I'm like, oh my God, it actually worked.
So now the truth. What did you do with that? Did you try to be a better cook?
I did have a little bit of fun, but I did. I said, okay, on the count of 3, you're going to be driving a red sports car. You're going to have so much fun. You're just going to love it. And I said, 1, 2, 3, boom, you're driving your sports car. And all of a sudden, she just went.
Like she was Fast and Furious.
Yeah. And she's driving, and I'm making little car sounds and stuff like that, so it was real to her mind. And the funny thing was is that then I said, you're going faster, you're going faster, you're going faster, and you're just having so much fun. She's like, like this. And I said, all of a sudden I went, like this. I mean, the police are pulling you over. She started crying.
Oh,
She
no.
started crying. I'm like,
Are you
I said,
serious?
so I thought, okay, I need to make her happy about this. I said, but you're a very patriotic Canadian, and the only way to get out of this ticket is to sing "O Canada." And she just started singing "O Canada," and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible, incredible. And then I woke her up. I said, you're
Did
going to
she
feel
believe it?
She did not remember any of it. She said, "You're kidding, right?"
Oh
I did not
my
do
God,
any of it.
that's
She did
hilarious.
not remember any of it. Yes.
Oh, too bad you didn't videotape it, but you had no expectation of that,
I
right?
did. I was like, listen, I just need to practice this so I can get comfortable with it. And she went right out. Actually, I just had a meeting with somebody in a Tim Hortons in Devonshire Mall yesterday. And she's a healer, she's a coach. And she said, I'd always wanted to experience hypnosis. Can you do it right here? And I'm thinking, I don't really want to. But I just said, close your eyes. So she closed her eyes. I said, take a deep breath. Start listening to the sound of my voice. All the other noise, it's just helping you relax deeper, deeper. Within about 35 seconds, she was right there.
Now, does it take somebody believing it, or it doesn't, right? Because I'm sure you have a lot of skeptics at first. Or
98% of all people that I deal with don't believe it.
Okay,
And
yeah.
they always come up and say, I can't be hypnotized. And my response is that, well, do you go to sleep at night? And they said, yes. I said, well, you go into hypnosis every night when you go to sleep at night. And
which is why it's good to listen to those.
Exactly,
night.
which gets me back to the very first hypnosis program I ever got, which was the Double Your Income. They didn't explain how it worked, but that's how it works. All I'm doing is simply shutting off the conscious mind. The subconscious mind never shuts off. So it's wide open to suggestion. The subconscious mind will believe anything. I mean, when you're a little kid and your friend said, hey, put your hand on the stove, it's going to be awesome,
Yeah.
right? And you go, okay, right? And you don't think about it because you're not in the rational state. That's the conscious mind. You're just shutting that off. Subconscious mind is wide open to suggestion, and boom, they just take effect.
Amazing. Well, I know you tackle a variety of different things, whether it be smoking, weight loss, better sleep, more success. There's so many different aspects that you do tackle. When we come back, we'll talk about better sleep, because I want to have you back next week to talk about weight loss, because next
Fantastic.
week is June. Tomorrow is June. Next week is June, and all people are thinking, oh my God, I got to wear summer clothes, and I've got to wear bathing suits, and I've got to do this, and we're going to be outside a lot. And people are talking about the summer slim down, and we'll talk about that next week as well. We'll hook a date up. But today, when we come back, we'll talk about better sleep and how you can help with that as well. Again, you can find Mind Power Programs online, mindpowerprograms.com, to get a hold of Jimmy. It's Jimmy Graham, the Mindset Success Coach. Fascinating stuff. More with him when we come back right here on the TKO Show.
I'm awesome.
Am I good? 148 here on the TKO Show with Kara Rowe, and a cool half hour. We're talking about optimal health, because there's so many different aspects that Jimmy Graham brings to the table, and he is a mindset success coach and works with things like whether it's weight loss, better sleep, more positive attitude, stop smoking, more success in your business. There's a host of different things that you kind of bring to the table, and it's amazing that you have incorporated so many different things. Once you unlock kind of the subconscious, it sounds, you're able to kind of get in there, tinker around. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine that. Let me change this. I could just see Mark sending me to you saying, okay, when she's out, make sure you tell her about cooking and cleaning and all these other aspects. Bring that to the table a little bit more. But very cool. I know he had a chance to go to one of your seminars, and he loved it, and we listened to, and of course, because we're in the same bedroom, I like to listen to the tapes every night too, and I'm like, wow, this stuff is so interesting, and we'll talk about some of these things. And so once again, you can find Jimmy Graham online as well, mindpowerprograms.com. And if you have any questions, you can text us now, 101290, or email the TKO Show at bellmedia.ca. And you do the comedy. I know you do that with businesses as well. You talked about the high schools, going to high schools, and you do that hypnotic comedy, and you do that with businesses, and that's got to really bring them all together.
Well, in the corporate market, yes, it does, because the benefit there is that not only am I entertaining their events, it could be an employee appreciation or an AGM, those type of events, but once they're in the room, they can actually see how they can use these skills to improve their business.
Oh, interesting.
Because
okay.
it really, I mean, all business comes back to sales, right?
Yeah.
And sales is all about people interacting. And when you can interact better from a positive mindset point of view, you're going to just naturally make more sales, which increases your profits.
So it's a twofer. They have the
It sure
comedy
is.
aspect, and then wow,
Yes,
that's really
yes.
interesting. Now I want to talk about sleep. I had seen you post on social media some stuff about hypnosis and sleep and how people are achieving better sleep through this. Is essentially because we just can't shut down, right? Everyone just, as soon as you get to bed, you think of all the things you have to do. Oh my God, I have to do this tomorrow and I should have done this today, and it just is endless.
Well, we do live in a world of distraction, don't we?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
And
and-
your phone's there, you're thinking, what's this? And you got to go to the bathroom and you check that. And, there's no shutting off. We need to decompress and shut off.
And the ironic thing is that, let's roll this back about 20 years ago, were we in that situation? We were distracted, but not to the degree that we are now. And the reason is that, I mean, this is my own personal opinion, but technically we've all been hypnotized that we can't live without our phones. We can't live without disconnecting. We've always got to be on, and just in case somebody calls, right, we've got to be there. Therefore, the mind never shuts off. You consciously, you're always like, oh my God, it's like, I need to have that phone on just in case.
Okay, so we've essentially programmed ourselves to be this intense with
to
technology.
need it, want it, and have to almost feel like we can't exist without it.
Okay, and so then what's the process for getting better sleep, and how does it work with your clients?
Well, the one thing with technology, shut it off. Shut it off. If you're using your phone as an alarm to get up in the morning, just go to the store and buy an alarm clock. Don't use your phone, because if your phone's there, your mind's thinking about your phone. And if that, and right there, you're not focusing on just relaxing and letting go. Where my sleep program really started to develop was just due to the fact of doing the shows, and people would come up to me and say, I can't get to sleep, but you just put somebody out in 30 seconds. Like,
Oh yeah, good point.
can you do that for me?
Can you come to my house 9:05 every evening and knock me
Exactly,
out?
exactly. And what really got me excited about this program, the Sleep Better Tonight program, is that I was doing a show. A young guy, he might have been 24, 25 years old, was in the show, and he dropped like a rock. Dropped like a rock. We finished off the show. I saw him over at the bar, and it was one of those things that I thought, I just got talking to him.
Gut was
Yeah,
telling
and
you,
and I
chat with him.
said, there's just something about this guy. I just want to talk to him and find out what's going on. And I said, listen, you were great. If there's anything else I can help you out with, by all means, let me know. He said, well, to be honest, he said, I haven't felt that good in forever. And I said, why? He says, I can't sleep. My parents have spent over $14,000 on psychiatrists, psychologists, mattresses, sleep aids, blah, 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 to help me sleep. I can't sleep more than 45 minutes at night. And then I wake back up again. I looked at him, I said, okay. He's standing at the bar with his buddies. I said, take a deep breath in. He goes, and I said, sleep. And he went right out.
No.
He just went right back there. So I just put my hand on his shoulder and I said, you'll feel my hand on your shoulder. Your subconscious mind is listening to my voice. And from this point forward, you say to yourself, I sleep soundly for 8 hours every single night. When my head hits the pillow, I'm out, I sleep soundly, and I wake up refreshed, rejuvenated, and energized. And this suggestion will grow stronger and stronger from this day forward. Woke him back up, just like nothing ever happened. We shared a drink together, and off he went. And I said, before you leave, I said, here, give me your phone number. Here's mine. Let's stay in touch. I get a phone call from him, and he was leaving for a vacation the next morning. I get a phone call from him 2 days later. He says, you're not going to believe this. I am sleeping like a baby.
Oh,
just
wonderful.
totally.
What a
And his
life changer.
Yeah, and his parents were just like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I ran into him maybe a couple of years even after. He says, never had a problem since. Never had a
Wow,
problem
see,
since.
and I just think, as we know, mental health is so big, and the talk of mental health, and Bell Media is huge into mental health, and I think there's so many people that anxiety is so high that they can't shut down. Their brain just turns and turns and turns, you know what I mean? And I have to answer to my email, and I have to answer to my phone, and I have to and so they just, and anxiety increases the less you sleep, right? It just gets
Yes.
worse and worse. So, I mean, this is such a huge factor of what health benefit is having that opportunity to sleep and just finally shut off.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing. So what's the process for those that are listening and they want to go through something like this and they want to experience, better sleep and deeper sleep? What do they do? What's your suggestion?
Well, the first, what I would suggest, first of all, is just to go to my website, mindpowerprograms.com, download the Sleep Better Tonight program. And you just find it under the tab of programs in the top menu, and just download it. Download it to an MP3 player, your phone, or whatever you listen to audio media on, and just start listening to that when you go to sleep at night. I would suggest just going to a store, buying a cheap little MP3 player, because if you have your phone, right, once again, your mind's on your phone. So it would be better just to spend some money, a couple of bucks on an MP3 player, but just simply listen to that program at night. Now what's happening is that I am guiding you to stay focused on relaxing, staying focused, and just letting go, right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to, oh my God, I got to get the kids to school in the morning, and I got this to do, and da-da-da-da-da, and I didn't get this done today, right? You're just shutting all that off, letting go, and letting your conscious mind simply shut off. Okay. And that's when I say sleep in a hypnosis show, I'm just saying sleep to the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is wide open. And therefore now I start going in and giving you suggestions to remain asleep and sleeping soundly and just letting go of all the crap that we deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I mean it's so pivotal that we have this type of sleep. I mean, it's so important for your health. It's so important for every aspect, for even weight loss. I mean, when you don't sleep, you don't lose weight, you actually gain more weight. Your cortisol's increased. Your stress hormone. Then you start eating, and it's just so cyclical. And you don't perform at work, which creates more stress and anxiety. I mean, and then you're short with the kids, and you don't want to be. You end up hating yourself. I mean, it's such a bad cycle.
And all it does is continue to perpetuate.
100%. And what a difference when you get a good night's sleep. It's fantastic. Now, in looking at your website as well, mindpowerprograms.com, it talks about the, getting fit. It talks about losing weight, stop smoking, relax and distress, sleeping better tonight, creating more confidence. There's so many little aspects. Pain be gone, which I love because I'm such a believer that physical pain, a lot of it comes from your mental, you know what I mean, and maybe stuff you're harboring or holding on to or issues that you have. Improve your memory and concentration and increase your income. So you have several different options for people, if they want to partake in this. And I know next week we'll have you back and talk more about weight loss, because that's such a huge thing right now.
That'd be fantastic.
And that would be great. And so obviously a lot of success, and you said, with sleeping better. And have you had some extreme examples of the weight loss program and people participating?
My star client has already lost over 50 pounds by simply using the program that she listened to at night. And it was funny because she came to one of my seminars, she got the program, and then, as everybody does, well, I put it on the shelf, and and then finally she just got fed up. It's like, listen, nothing else has worked. I'm going to try this. And she started listening to it, and then it just started changing. And it's all about just changing the thought processes that we have.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about next week, is in that subconscious, what are we thinking? What have we programmed ourselves to think? Maybe it's something we were programmed from a young kid. Maybe it's something more recent. Maybe it's one incident that's plaguing us. So it's really fascinating. Thank you so much for being on today. I appreciate the time. Always goes by way too fast.
Thanks for having me on, Kara.
Once again, Jimmy Graham, you can find him at mindpowerprograms.com. Next week we'll have him back on Tuesday to talk about losing weight through hypnosis as well. It's Kara Rowe on the TKO Show. Awesome.